Good. He's good. Call to order the Town of Sellersburg regular town council meeting. Call to order, and can I get a roll call, please? Present.
Present.
Here.
Here.
Present. Jake, if you'll lead us in prayer, please stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for tonight. Thank you for all you provided each of us here in the room, anybody watching, or all the residents here at Sellersburg. May be with us, knowing in our needs and our heart and our mind, and just be with us as we make decisions. In your name we pray.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jake. I need a motion to amend or adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a first by Scott, a second by Matt. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
3-0. I need a motion for the approval of minutes that were available online. If you've all had a chance to look them over, can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
I have a first motion by Scott,
I'll second.
second by Matt. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's 3-0. Approval of the allowance claims, also available online.
So moved.
I have a first by Matt,
Second.
a second by Scott. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
3-0. Do we have any comments from the public on the agenda items? None? Okay, moving on. Ordinances and resolutions. Give us just a minute here to get these things signed, and we'll take off with that. The first ordinance is 2025 OR 006, an order considering an amendment to the zoning map of the town of Sellersburg. Is that you, Charlie?
It can be. So what you have before you on ordinance 2025-OR006 is a recommendation from the Plan Commission. They send this to you in a resolution with a favorable recommendation of rezoning of parcels, 3 of them, 10-09-11-000-014.000-030, 10-09-11-000-002.000-030, and 10-11-000-006.000-003 from M2 high density multifamily to a B2 general business, with commitments to build the Baptist Health freestanding emergency department urgent care facility in Sellersburg. For just so you're aware of where these parcels are, this is over just north of Ivy Tech, and south of the exit 9 entry ramp to 65. So Baptist Health will be building a basically like a small hospital. It'll be emergency care. There'll be some other specialty offices there, as well as an urgent care here in the town of Sellersburg.
Sorry, Charlie. I spoke with the some Baptist Health officials the other day. It's going to be exactly like the one in Jeffersonville. However, it'll have a second story on it. So they'll do immediate care throughout the day, beginning at 6 a.m. to about roughly 9 p.m. will be immediate care. And then in emergency, and after 9 o'clock, they'll just bill for emergency hours only because of staffing. So I think that's a great deal for the town of Sellersburg. The first freestanding, they have ER capabilities, plus your basic immediate care. And I think they're going to do some employee type drug screens and stuff like that. What do they call those, employee clinics?
Yes.
Something similar to that.
And they'll be also be partnering with Ivy Tech nursing facility for education purposes that they do on there. I believe you have representatives here from Baptist Health and their representatives if you want to hear from them prior to your review and consideration of this ordinance.
Anyone like to make a comment tonight?
Was I accurate?
You're very accurate.
Would you like to say anything tonight?
I think everyone's pretty much said everything that needs to be said. It's just that it's, a freestanding emergency room with specialty.
If you could, can you come up here and state your name for the record, please?
Charlie likes to be official. So I was okay with that.
I'm Chris Long with JTL and here with For Baptist Health. And you're all exactly right. It's that. It's a freestanding emergency room. There'll be specialty doctors on the second floor and everything else that you said. So we are just about ready to start looking at, truly breaking ground as long as we get a favorable approval.
Well, I know a lot of the constituents in my district are very happy about this, and other residents throughout the town. I think this is we've done a lot in the last 5 years, but I think this is a pretty big day for the town of Sellersburg to have Baptist Health and their partnership and be able to take care of our residents. So no more having to drive for minor things. Obviously, ER visits are still ER visits, but to have that capability here in Sellersburg, I don't think we've ever had freestanding.
Not that I'm aware of.
So I definitely appreciate Baptist Health's partnership with the town, and I'm looking forward to getting that kicked off very long.
Definitely a move in the right direction.
The other interesting thing is if you go there for an emergency and it's deemed that you need to go into the hospital, they take you straight from there to the hospital to go into a room instead of going down to wait another little bit or a long bit in another emergency room.
If
So-
they pre-book you from the facility in Sellersburg, or soon to be facility in Sellersburg, straight to the ER at their main campus in New Albany, Baptist Floyd's. So
Now, will there be helicopter for stat flights or anything like that, or is that
We
something?
aren't planning for that just yet, but I wouldn't doubt that we could have that capability,
Okay.
with the surrounding parking lots, but there's not going to be a dedicated helipad.
Okay. All right. It was just a question.
Mhm.
Anything further for him?
thank
I-
you, Mr. Long.
I will say that on the 20th day of January of this year, the Planning Commission, Town of Sellersburg, sent this forward to us for looking for a favorable recommendation. So it has already passed through that. So now therefore be it ordained by the Town of Sellersburg, Indiana, that the recommendation by the commission to rezone the property from M2 high-density multifamily residential to B2 general district is hereby approved or rejected. This ordinance shall be in full force and effective upon its passage and prolongation as evidenced by the affirmative signatures on the undersigned of the majority of the duly elected and serving members of the council.
I'll make that motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the ordinance as it's presented. I know the Plan Commission gave us a favorable recommendation.
True.
As the ordinance reads, as it's submitted, that we approve that ordinance as it's presented.
And then with that, you will circle the adopted,
Mhm.
that it's adopted versus rejected. That's why it's in bold. You'll
Okay.
circle one per his motion, and then it'll take two readings.
Two readings.
unanimous tonight to pass.
Okay, I have a first by Scott. Do I have a second by Matt?
Yep.
Any further discussion? Anyone? With that, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
3-0. And now you need a second reading as well?
You make a motion to waive the second reading?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 3-0.
And we just got to do the last approval.
Yeah, so the final approval for the Baptist Health Ordinance Number 2025-OR-006, an ordinance considering an agreement to the zoning maps of the town of Sellersburg.
I'll
Do
make
I-
a motion to
We have
approve.
a motion by Scott,
I'll second.
a second by Matt. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
3-0.
It's passed.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Unfinished business, we have none. Let's go ahead and get this signed and then we'll move forward. Thank you, Matt. Under new business, Sellersburg Elementary School Building, 206 North New Albany Street, pest control. I believe this is you, Charlie.
Yeah, so the next two items are related to the takeover of the Sellersburg Elementary School building. First thing you have before you is a contract agreement with Black Diamond for pest control. Basically, what this is just continuing the service that Silver Creek School Corporation had for the facility. It's $40 a month. Second item on there, if I may, item 200 new business is insurance. So this is actually insurance for the structure. For a premium of $8,569. I would request that both of these be taken out of set it upon your approval.
I'll make that motion to approve both of these.
We have a motion to approve the pest control portion of the Sellersburg School and also the insurance for the same people that supply us our town insurance in our other buildings.
Correct. I think it's a different insurance company, same broker, Jerry Rauch, is who went through on this. So the Black Diamond is $40 a month. The premium for the insurance, which is annual, is $8,569.
I have a motion by Matt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Scott. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
3-0. Moving on, a utility billing adjustment for account number 129639 in the amount of $1,660.95.
So this was a field mistake that was corrected through the billing office upon installation. The way that they set the dial information was incorrect. So it caused for misreading. So this is going back and correcting those for this user.
And this goes back to January of 23.
Yes.
And the meter was changed out January 24th of 23. Error was made. Okay.
I'll make that motion to approve it.
So I have a motion by Matt to approve the refund in the amount of $1,660.95. Do I have a second? I have a second by Scott. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
3-0. Moving right along. Sludge hauling contract.
So this is an annual sludge hauling contract for the wastewater department. This is basically what we use to remove the sludge. We solicited 4 different vendors. We received 2 responses by the date. And with that, I'm going to make a recommendation that we award this for 2025 to Ecotech.
Now, are they our current
They are our current provider.
provider? Ecotech Waste Logistics. So you just need a motion for that?
Yeah, I need a motion to approve Ecotech for sludge hauling for 2025.
WWTP sludge hauling request for quote 2025 to 2026. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion by Matt,
Second.
second by Scott. Any further discussion?
Charlie, I think we went through this last year.
We did.
And this hurts my head. A mathematician I'm not, but I'm looking at I want to make sure we're comparing apples to
We
apples.
were,
So I'm
yes, sir.
looking at 40 digital tons times 12 equals 480 plus a 255 hauling for a total of $735 per load from Ecotech. Then I'm looking at 47 digital tons times 12 tons average for 564, 250. I'm assuming that's hauling for 814 a load. Why is the difference of 40 and 47?
It's just-
What is that?
That's how they price it. So they're charging different per ton. And they're charging different per haul rate. So their hauling costs are different. What they're charging us per ton is different. So we take the two to get a total per load. And you're right, we did go through this last year and there was a little bit of confusion. So we updated this sludge hauling request for quote document to clarify so that we are comparing apples to apples per load. And what we're looking for is the lowest load cost. However, it's broken down, what's the total bottom line number per load? So we came up, so basically what was submitted was, again, $735 per load for one and $814 per load for the other respondent.
So we've done the math and Ecotech is still the
Correct.
the best. Okay.
Okay.
Work for you?
Yeah, but it's just confusing. I mean, it should be simpler than that.
Can't say I
I
disagree
think
with
it's
you.
more confusing this year than it was last year. What are we doing?
I would think this year is a lot.
No,
Less confusing.
We put lipstick on a pig and we're still confused.
What's how it has to be priced.
Okay, all right. As long as it follows the rules. I just want to make sure we're doing it right. Obviously, we want the lowest bid, but I just want to make sure that those who bid are bidding apples to apples. If you say they are, then they are.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
3-0. General comments from the public. Anyone? Charlie. State your name and your address, please. Although I think we know it by now.
I'll say it again.
Was it 90?
Charlie Pierce, 9108 Highway 60. I was just had a question about the business about the elementary school, the contracts. Where I know that we were trading. I was wondering, when was that finalized? Okay. I figured it had been, or y'all wouldn't be talking about that.
No, Charlie, contrary to some reports, we did not trade the school for 20 acres over
No.
by McDonald's. Okay?
No, it was,
I know, but what I just want to make sure that we clarify, because me and you, we have a relationship, and I know that you'll report the news accurately.
of course.
We traded the school for historic purposes, preservation.
Yeah.
For acreage at the.
Near the pool.
Near the pool.
Yeah.
4
I remember. 4 acres. Yeah.
Okay.
With that said, I know when we're looking at that early on, they're saying that there's a lot of problems with the roof and leaking. Has anything been done or going to be done as far as addressing the leaking roof?
There currently are 2 pumps on the roof that
Okay.
have to be plugged into, but they've got a water evacuation system set up for it.
Okay.
But someone has to physically turn the pumps on.
I got you. So like a sump
Yeah,
pits
similar
up
to
there
the
for
pump,
now.
Right.
till we get it roofed or
Till
whatever.
now, that's what they've been doing it for a while, and that's
Yeah.
what we're gonna continue to do.
Okay, I was just asking.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Thank you, Charlie.
Good to see you, Charlie.
Staff reports moving forward. Charlie Smith, Town Manager.
March 17th, we'll be doing the town of Sellersburg hydrant flushing. So the week of March 17th, the week of March 24th, will be the Jeffersonville hydrant flushing. This Saturday, just before 11 a.m., we have a ribbon cutting over at Freckled Mama Boutique for their expansion of the home goods store. Currently, we have 2 positions that are open. It's been on a social media and a website here for a while, but we're accepting applications for a water team member and park manager. So we'll be accepting those applications through Friday. And then also on the website, some information, general information about the Jeff Utica Fire Township discussion that's going on. as well as US 31 project. NDOT has announced that the utility relocations will start in March. So again, all this information can be found on the website. Go to sellersburg.org. Some of them are featured events. Some are down at the bottom for general news.
So you will share the hydrant flushing on Facebook
It's already-
as well as
It's already
the,
on there. Yes, sir.
as the website.
That's all I have for now.
Charlie, is there an avenue for residents and or visitors alike outside of complaining on Facebook to report potholes? Do we have a system set up for someone to report? It's that time of year. It's been a rough winter. And then how do we address those? Or do we put those out per day for the work crews? Can you just explain how you do it?
So we
Please.
have a thing on the website for reporting potholes. They can go there. We've also shared it on our social media. They get submitted in. Email comes in that lists the location, and they get sent to the street department. If they are NDOT roadways or the county roadways, again, if you go to the website, it lists it. It shows it to where the town roads are. So if somebody says, "Hey, I got a pothole here," and it's not a town road, it gets submitted on over to NDOT or the county accordingly. And then it goes to our team, and then weather permitting, we will go out and patch them, usually in bulk. We've been running about once a week. Like I said, it's kind of weather dependent on when we can get out there and do them.
All right. Looking at my notes here from some of the constituents in my district, I believe I told you about the sign, the Boredom-Salem mileage sign. That's an NDOT sign. It's leaning over, probably got hit by a snowplow or something. If you can forward that along, because we can't touch NDOT signs.
Again, we can submit those on to NDOT.
And it's just whenever they come and fix, it looks terrible.
Mhm.
And there also, if we could remind some folks along Highway 60 in front of the JC property, we've done that before and they were pretty responsive.
Mhm.
And there's some trash. It's just, it is what it is. There's some trash on some of these properties. Some of it's in Sellersburg. Some of it is not in Sellersburg, if you know the boundaries. But it does need to be picked up. And I hear a lot of complaints about the town. However, that is not our private property. And the last thing we want to do is send somebody out there to cite somebody. When all you got to do is just go out there and pick up the trash.
And we'll have those conversations accordingly.
Okay, because it's getting to be springtime. It's coming.
And there are work groups that we work through with Jeremy Snelling from Clark County Magistrate on work release type stuff that they'll come through and do trash collections and different stuff like that. We also have a couple Boy Scout groups who do pretty regular community service type stuff as well.
And again, Highway 60 is not part of the town. We have no control over Highway 60. NDOT has plans on putting a signalized light at East St. Joe or West St. Joe?
East St. Joe this fall.
At East St. Joe this fall.
Correct.
Have they announced their plans for Perry Crossing and Highway 60?
Those are
Officially?
not finalized and submitted, but
So-
they're within their 5-year scope.
What about 111 and Highway 60?
Same.
Same thing. They're not finalized plans.
Correct.
What about 311 and Highway 60?
Those are closer to being finalized plans. I don't have a date for letting for that project.
So the rumor is that those three intersections will all be roundabouts.
That is an accurate statement.
Okay. And is there a plan to widen Highway 60 from 311 to I-65?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Okay. I'd love to be at the Freckled Mama Home Goods ribbon cutting this weekend, but in my district, I have kids that go to students that go to Borden, Providence. Floyd's Borden girls team is playing for a state championship this weekend, so I'll be up there to support them. So good luck to that ladies basketball team. So I unfortunately will be able to miss that, so send them my regards, please, at the Freckled Mama Boutique.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Anything else, Charlie? No. Moving forward, Matt Adams, you have anything to add tonight?
Chief Whalen, do you have anything?
Nothing for Matt Adams. Okay.
Is the town safe?
Town is safe. Engineering updates by Mike Harris at JTL.
Yes, sir. I'll be quick. Sunflower Valley, we are still trying to get easements. We're asking IFA to let us get involved with the acquisition itself. It wasn't in our scope of work, so they're agreeable to it. We just need to trade some paperwork back and forth. Lead service line still ongoing. Type 3 still moving forward. 31 for both the water and the sewer. We did get the easement from the school, and the schedule is still as it was before. Anticipate bidding in April, and the construction will be throughout the summer. There'll be quite a bit of work up and down where they're having to move all the sewer and water lines. Town center sewer extension, really the same. We talked last week about timing on that and how that ties in with the funding. But we're at a point where we can finalize those within about 30 days once we get the go ahead. 31 we talked about. 60 we're still waiting on the town. on NDOT to give authorization to the town to issue the notice to proceed. So that's the same. Ivy Tech, we are, there's a DNR permit that has been resubmitted. So we made some changes based on conversations with the contractor. If you guys remember talking about that, saved some money and are finalizing the easements right now. I think the last one we're going to have is the Lakeside HOA that we need to get one from. CCMG, that hasn't changed since the last time. Same thing, just in a waiting period at this point. They'll start paving in the spring. That is it.
Any questions for Mike?
I do. Mr. Harris.
Yes, sir.
So let's do a little bit of revisionist history again this week, because I believe people find this informative. Okay. So when you make a comment like we're waiting for NDOT to give the town approval to relocate utilities, what that means is for the common person, not engineers, average folks, average Joes like me, meaning the state way.
Correct.
However, the town has run most likely alongside of the roadway on NDOT's property. And NDOT is getting ready to do a project on that road.
Correct.
So they allow the town to move our own utilities before NDOT makes their road improvements.
Yes.
So it has nothing to do with the town of Sellersburg fixing the road or widening the road or making the road bigger. It's just saying, hey, these are your utilities. You need to move them or we will. And if we do it, whatever damage or loss, that's on the town. So
I
we
don't
do.
even think they give you the option.
They don't even give you an option.
You have to move it. Correct.
NDOT tells you you have to.
You have to move it.
Okay, so for the average person, and we have a great relationship with NDOT. I think we do better than some other communities. They work very well with us. So when we talk about 31 and all we're doing before NDOT comes in and does this massive project, which by all stretches of the imagination, it's going to be a headache. It's not a project that can be done over the summer before school. It's not one of this is a major project that they're doing, right? Mm-hmm. So before that project starts, we have to relocate those utilities.
Correct. The ones that are in the way, the ones that are in conflict with what they're proposing to
Right.
do.
Because they have right of way,
That's right.
the state does on that road.
That's right.
Now, is the state going to take or expand onto private property? Have they negotiated with any private property people to say, hey, we're going to need 4 feet of your property to make this project work? Has the state done that? So they work that out separately.
It has
with
nothing to do with
nothing to do with the town of Sellersburg.
Correct.
But they are going to do that in order to make this project work.
They
As
already
far as I
have.
know, I think they already have. for the
Okay.
most part.
I just like to clarify these
Sure.
things because you hear, not to get into any type of sagas, but you hear a lot of misinformation
Sure.
or disinformation. And I want to make sure that people that are listening, people that are present, understand exactly the shape that this town is in when it comes to certain roadways. There is nothing we can do. Matter of fact, I think we have gone back in the past and repaired some roadways and said, hey, we're going to ask for forgiveness later, but we got to get this fixed. Like I have tried for years to get a left turn signal light up here at this intersection because traffic backs up. And it was horrible in St. John Paul. And NDOT said, no. Right? Okay. Thank you, Mr.
You're
Harris.
So to clarify on the 31 project, they went through for 2 years doing property acquisitions for expanded right of way. Some of it was 6 inches for the entire width of the property. Some of it was a little bit more.
And they had public hearings about this, correct?
They go through and do appraisals, and they work with each individual owner on that. We had a public meeting here at Town Hall in 22 talking about the project. It is on the NDOT website. It's on our website, a link to it that shows the video, the over scope of the project, as well as all the plans. The work that is starting in March will run for 9 months, and that is only utility relocations. So it's not just our utilities, water and sewer, gas, electric. So most of the telephone poles have to be moved. Water, sewer, and then there are 6, I think, different telecommunication lines, whether they're overhead or underground. NDOT schedules those things based on impact and who needs to get out of the way first. We've been talking with them for 9 months over what that schedule is going to look like. And once that schedule is finalized, they will post it. And then the utilities have so much time to work within their window to get their utilities, because if you don't do your window, then the person behind you can't get their stuff done. So it's very organized, it's very structured, and it's very much planned on who's doing what work and when. Some will start, and as they get further on down the road, then the next one will start. So again, we have utilities, water and sewer, but they don't span the entire distance of the project. There's only certain locations where, like Mike was saying, was conflict. The overall project is going to create a 3rd lane from Utica to 403. It's going to redo the 403 intersection. It's going to redo the Prather Lane section. It'll be a repave rehab project from Foothill to 31, and then the entire stretch of 31 to more or less the creek just past Speed will be addressed. There'll be complete sidewalks from Prather Lane to basically Speed Park on that side of the roadway. There'll be crosswalks, signalized crosswalks. There'll be traffic improvements with the lights at 311, Utica, and 403 that will coordinate with each other to help for better traffic movement through town.
So they did put the signalized crosswalks in for pedestrians, kids walking to and from school. I know that was a big thing for me years ago.
There's not one at the school, but
Okay.
there are several up and down through the stretch.
Can the town petition NDOT to say, can you please add, I think there's a lot of traffic there. Library, you do have some people walking, there's a hitting facility there. You do have some pedestrian traffic. People are going to the restaurant. We want to be friendly. And I want people to be safe. Is that something that we can ask NDOT to add in addition, or the town pay
It was
for it?
it was requested, it was discussed at length with the school corporation involved. And NDOT decided to pull that because of the intersection at 403, the number of lanes, the width, the timing, and the train impact to that intersection.
Okay, I still think that it's something we should keep our eye on. I want to make sure students are safe walking to and from, any pedestrian, not just students, but there's other people out doing things. So hey, that's great. Michelle, how long, Ms. Metcalf, how long have you been the executive secretary for the town of Sellersburg?
Almost 8 years.
8 years? Ms. Miller, how long have you been the clerk? 35 years. And for 35 years, you have heard how bad traffic is on 31. Am I right or am I wrong? Okay. That being said, we're getting ready to fix that. NDOT's getting ready to solve some problems finally. Okay. 35 years you've been waiting. So my advice is heed this as an early warning. If little Johnny and Janie have to get to school at 7:15 and they're not using public transportation, which is available, they should probably leave a little bit earlier next year. Would you say that's a fair statement? Okay.
And take an alternate route as well.
Just for the record, because I know you're keeping minutes, that I put that in the minutes that I suggested for the record that you leave a little bit earlier for school before you start calling me and emailing me about how bad traffic is. Because guess what that is? It's progress.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Done? You
No, I'm
good?
not done yet. I got public comments too.
Just filling Randy's shoes tonight.
Anything further, Mike?
That's it.
Moving forward, Jake Elder.
Nothing, sir.
It's all been covered, hasn't it?
That's right. We are good.
I'm just getting warmed up.
Really? All right. Comments from the council members. I'm going to let Scott go first because I think he's going to touch on everything.
Okay. Couple things. Again, I mentioned it earlier. First, I want to say I hope Randy's feeling better. I know Randy and Mary are watching. He's not feeling too hot. He's sick tonight, so I know Randy. We miss you, and we'll get to see you here in a couple weeks. If you need anything, reach out and call us. Let us know. I'm sure Mary's taking very good care of him at home. Good luck to the Borden Lady girls basketball team this weekend. They play Lafayette Central or Lafayette Catholic for the state championship in their class. So I have some students, including my own, that go to attend Borden schools in my district. So good luck to them as I represent everybody in my district. So I'll be up there to support them. Again, I see a lot of comments. I see the same faces here. I'm always available. Feel free to reach out. Charlie, you would say I'm a pretty responsive guy, right? Hey, you want the lights turned on at JC? I get the lights turned on at JC, right? Okay. So, and we can always have good civil discussion, but I think it's important for people to know the facts and be involved before we start making outlandish statements and accusate, because that's what society is today. It's accusatory, less communicate. Hey, just come and ask me questions. If I can't get you the answer, I'll find it for you. Right, Charlie?
Sir.
I missed something last week in my Senate confirmation hearing, which that's what Jake called my statements last week for public comment. It felt like he was at the confirmation hearings. We have no control over Speed Park. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So Speed Park is not in the town of Sellersburg.
No, sir.
Where does the town of Sellersburg boundary stop?
The high school.
Renz Avenue.
I know that.
Okay.
So at Renz Avenue, just north, barely north of the high school, is the town limits stop.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. We have nothing to do with Heidelberg.
No, sir.
We have nothing to do with the golf course. Okay. I just want to make sure that we get all this, it's accurate. We covered Community Park last week. We covered the roadways. We found an avenue to have people voice their displeasure about potholes before they start losing tires and rims. So as long as we're attentive to that. I haven't heard, you know what, for the first 4 years, I think we battled drainage issues and all the flooding. I think your drainage crew's done a really, really good job. I don't hear a whole lot of complaints. Now, I'm sure that's probably going to open the floodgates and but there's an avenue for that, correct? So I think Baptist Health's going to be a great addition to the town of Sellersburg. Really looking forward to that, not having to drive down to Jeff in New Albany or Louisville to get some basic services here. Obviously, emergencies are emergencies, and each facility has different capabilities. I think that's huge. And I love the partnership with Ivy Tech, being able to help them out. And it's more jobs, more education for the students, not just at Silver Creek, but other schools in this area to partner. I know Jeffersonville has the Jeff Promise, where the kids go up to Ivy Tech and get an education. The mayor installed that down there. It's a great program. It's more opportunity for people in this town. For as much as people gripe and complain, here's more opportunity to make this town better. So I am thrilled to hear that Baptist Health is coming here and doing what they're doing along with Ivy Tech. NDOT, great relationship, but people have to understand that is a monstrosity that you deal with. And last time I checked, Sellersburg is not the only town in the state of Indiana. Population, what, 11,000?
10.
10? Okay.
Slightly under 10.
In the pecking order, we do get some pretty good deals from NDOT, but in the pecking order, we're way down on the list when it comes to other cities and towns, correct? In infrastructure projects. We've got a great relationship with Senator Garden. He helps us out. So all these wheels are constantly turning. However, NDOT's a monstrosity that we have to deal with. It just takes some time. And I don't like roundabouts. I drive through one every single day for the last 10 years plus. Maybe one or two close calls by somebody else, not by my doing. I seem to manage just fine. Roundabouts are here to stay. We're not going to get rid of them. It is what it is. And by statistics, they're safer. They just are. They're safer than traffic lights. That's it. Oh,
Good?
and I hope Brad's doing well. I haven't heard from him in a while. I know he stressed me out the other day, but I hope Brad's doing well.
All right. Your
Thank
turn, Matt.
I don't know if I can come anywhere close
Oh, I'm sure you
to
can.
Scott. I mean, he did fill Randy's shoes quite well tonight.
I just didn't say the prayer.
He didn't say the prayer, no. But I echo Scott's words on board. Excited to see a local team make it to state. So hopefully they can bring home a trophy for Borden. But other than that, it's just, thanking our town employees. I mean, they do a consistently great job of maintaining issues and problems that need to be fixed and addressed on a timely manner. So without them, we'd have a nightmare. So thanks to all of our town employees, all of our people behind the scenes that over here, and great board to work with. So appreciate you guys. That's it.
Ditto on everything you said. Charlie, one of the complaints that I've seen online on Facebook is the way we communicate with the community. Now, we do Facebook. We have a town website. We send notices out on water bills. Help me out here. We have a good relationship with the News and Tribune for projects. We have good relationships with WDRB as well as all the other TV stations in Louisville. What am I missing here? I think we do a very good job of communicating.
Oh, I think Charlie should be on Snapchat. We're not on Snap.
I mean, the information's available. I don't know what else to say other than taking a little bit of time to find it, I guess.
So clerk treasurer's office, you post everything online as well, correct? All the financial things are online. So people, if you're having trouble getting the information, you basically just have to take it on yourself we make it available and we'll help you find it with a phone call, but you kind of need to take it on yourself to go to the website or whatever it is you need to do, sellersburg.org, and everything is posted there. So
I think at the next mailer, Charlie, you should just send my cell phone number out citywide, townwide.
and that's something we didn't touch on. We actually send out mailers as well.
We have a draft for the next one.
Right.
It's under review right now, but
Yeah.
we'll be sending that out, but it'll be, in town limits, obviously.
So anybody in the town limit's going to get a mailer.
Yeah, so I mean, there obviously be people that have quote Sellersburg addresses that won't receive it.
Right. So I urge you to take a moment, read the mailer. It might give you some insight as to what projects we have going on in town, things that we're dealing with, and that way everybody's well informed. Good enough? All right, Michelle, do you have anything tonight? Brad, have a safe trip home.
Oh, I do have one more thing. I'm sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
In light of the meeting in Jeffersonville with the Utica Township and Jeff Fire District, the proposed fire territory, I think it would, Charlie, behoove us to look at what that impact is to the town and try to get some numbers so we stay ahead of that. I don't know what their town or city council is going to do. It's not our business between Jeff and Utica. It does affect us, but our responsibility, just like they said, my responsibility as an elected official is to the town of Sellersburg, and to worry about the town of Sellersburg and what we're doing for public
I can
safety.
provide those for you. They're on the website. I can
But
provide
I
them
think
for
we
you
should
here.
have an executive session followed by, any type of public meeting that we need to make sure that the numbers are in line. Obviously, their projections and how that impacts the town of Sellersburg, and then what our potential remedies are for that. Does that make sense? So everyone's informed and we're ahead of the game. When we don't want to be in a position where we're like, oh my God, we're missing $400,000 from our general fund. What are we going to do now? I don't want to be in that spot. I think the town is in a solid financial position, in my opinion. But anytime that you lose money out of your budget, no one likes it. So I think that's something that we need to stay on top on and keep tracking and make sure that we have all of our I's dotted and T's crossed for when that day comes. If it comes. It may not. I don't know. It may be tied up in court for 10 years. But it's something that we should definitely take a look at. Just my opinion.
That it?
That's it. That's all I got. I'm done.
I'll entertain a motion. Oh,
I have one question on Matt here.
yeah.
I was right to know, so there's gonna be a light at East St. Joe, where the roundabout's gonna be located?
311 and 60. And
Charlie, they're not finalized.
yeah, it's not finalized yet. It's just something they've been discussing for a while. So there's going to be one at Chillers with a dedicated lane going from I-65 area to turn onto right onto 311. There will be a dedicated lane that won't actually go through the roundabout. There will be another roundabout that's proposed at 11 and 60 at
111, 60.
111 and 60, and then and one at Perry Crossing.
And that may be, they may be joined together in some type of form or fashion. It's,
Right.
it's too early to tell yet.
I
so.
understand.
And they're all just proposed now. There's nothing really finalized on them, but it's been talked about for a while.
I think they've been approved
They've been approved.
they've been approved for funding, but I don't know where they
Okay.
are in process.
Okay.
Was one at West St. Joe?
St. Joe East, St. Joe West are both getting stoplights.
Okay.
60 and 311 is getting a roundabout. 60 and Perry Crossing is getting a roundabout, and then 60 and Grant Line's getting a roundabout.
Grant Line.
60 and Point and Payne Kohler intersection will be seeing traffic improvements as part of the Quick Trip project. So between now, not counting the Quick Trip project, but between now and 2030, between the 31 project and the Highway 60 improvements, you're looking at a rough estimate of somewhere around $20 to $25 million coming to in and around Sellersburg from NDOT.
Charlie.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, Mr. Pierce. Charlie, I won't, by the time this is all done, my term will probably be over, okay?
You gotta run again.
But I want you to, no, I won't. I already, this is it for me, okay? I believe in term limits. What I'm telling you is mark it down now. The next complaint, when all this is done, will be, it takes me forever to get from Perry Crossing to Highway 65. That will be the next complaint. There's too many traffic lights. Traffic's broken up. Right now, everyone does 80 miles an hour on Highway 60. In about 3 years, it's going to be like it takes me a half hour to get from home to I-65. I promise you. Write it down. I'll wager you a glass of sweet tea that happens. At Neil and Patty's, because I support local. Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a motion by Matt,
Second.
second by Scott. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Adjourned at 6:47 PM. Thank you. You made it fun.